Hey everybody, welcome to this very special episode of Think Twice Rocker Advice. My name's Elijah Tyndall. I'm your gracious host. Thanks for joining me today. Today I want to talk about what's on my hat. It says E.T. Fresh. Go back with me in time to a young ninth grade Elijah Tyndall, me. I heard something on the radio, community radio, in Little Rock, Arkansas on Sundays between noon and 3 p.m. They played a genre of music. Now you got to remember, I'm an elder gentleman. So this was way back in the day, and there was a new genre of music that had just launched, and that genre was called rap music. Perhaps you've heard of it. It got kind of big. And in this genre of music, when I heard it, all up until then, I was being exposed to glam rock, and I had the big hair and all this stuff. But something happened in me whenever I heard rap music. When I heard the Fat Boys, that was literally, don't blame me for what they named themselves. There was a guy in the Fat Boys named the Human Beatbox where he that was his job. And the other guys would rap over that beat that he provided because he was the human beatbox. Indeed, he was. And I respected that. And the way that they approached, not just them, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Dougie Fresh, Curtis Blow, all these originators of the rap music culture, there was a difference, a vast difference in the way that they approached describing themselves versus the way that I had lived all of my life up until this time in my life, which was ninth grade. And I needed a reset. The reason I needed a reset, the reason I needed a reboot, a revamp, the reason I needed a do-over, or at least start from here in a different way, was because up until that point, I was a shy, insecure, never wanted to stand out kind of character. I was scrawny. I looked like Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings. I still wore the loincloth for no obvious reason. Must use it once it. I was, and partially, I can see looking back now, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 4 years old. This is back before everyone had diabetes, and a type 1 diabetic means your pancreas completely does not work. And so they had less ways to treat diabetes back then, and there wasn't as clear of an understanding as there is in culture today. And so I would find myself embarrassed because I would pass out. I would go into seizures. No one knew what to do with me, even though my mom and my nana and my dad would talk to the teachers or the principal at the school and tell them if he says that he needs something or if he starts acting weird, acting goofy, give him this, and they would give them like an apple juice to put in the but no one actually followed those protocols, not because they were uncaring, but they're surrounded by adolescents, and everyone's acting weird or whatever. And so I'd find myself and I'd wake up and there's ambulance people around me. That was all of my life. I also had a speech impediment. I was stuttered horribly. I stuttered so bad, I talked about it in the last episode, that when my fifth grade teacher told me, Elijah, I don't know what it is you're going to do whenever you grow up, but you'll never be able to do anything which requires you to talk. That's how bad my speech impediment was. And so I just wanted to blend in. I did not want any kind of attention, but something happened on the inside of me that when I heard these guys presenting themselves in such a confident way, I thought, man, I want that. I want to stop being embarrassed that I peed in the bed till I was 14 years old. Not consistently and not all the time and not on purpose or not but every now and then it would happen. I was embarrassed. I couldn't give myself a shot, and I had my dad to help me get a shot because I was afraid of needles. I just couldn't see a needle, and though I needed multiple shots a day for the rest of my life, I had to come to grips with I am a very scared individual in life. And yes, life had handed me some things that caused me to be uncomfortable, that caused me, I for sure could say I'm a victim to circumstances and cards that I've been handed in life. But I also had to deal with the fact that I'm going to look at myself in the mirror for the rest of my life. And I want to start being okay with that guy. And so that means either I'm okay with just giving in to I'm going to wet my bed for the rest of my life, or giving in to I never want to stand out for the rest of my life. But something about being exposed to the rap culture caused me to want to be more. It drew, maybe you have been exposed to certain things that it brings out this other aspect of not who you necessarily are being right now, but it triggers something, it ignites something on the inside of you of something that you could potentially become down the road. And that's what I needed to do for myself. Elijah Tyndall in ninth grade changed his name. I no longer answer to Elijah Tyndall, at least not in certain settings. Every day at lunchtime, at noon, at lunchtime at Mableville Junior High in Little Rock, Arkansas, there were rap battles, freestyle rap battles. And I changed from Elijah to E.T. Fresh. That's right. It sounds goofy now, but I'm telling you, the E.T. Fresh season, E.T. Fresh, oh yeah, that E.T. Fresh season, though I never became this super famous rapper, and I never became an LL Cool J, I never became an Eminem, I never became that status. Something happened in me and shifted in me during the E.T. Fresh season of my life that I needed to happen to equip me for the rest of my life. I needed to grow thick skin because there would be a time in my life when other people would be attacking me. Other people would be saying negative things about me, and I needed to have a thicker skin than the old Elijah had, and that thicker skin would happen in those rap battles. That thicker skin would happen in those seasons of my life that I learned to not only take mean comments from other people and absorb them and not let them bother me when I'm in the middle of a rap battle, but also be able to fire back at people. Now, I don't spend my life firing back at people because it's wasted energy. It's empty calories being burned for me, and I don't have a lot of place in my backpack to carry hate and bitterness for other people. Life hands us enough along the way that we have to carry of our own. There's no reason to take on for no reason just because someone's being mean to us. So I don't spend a lot of time on that, but I did need the thick skin that only the E.T. Fresh season, the ninth grade season. And so though it may seem like a goofy thing, I'm saying this because this applies to you. Think twice about your life right now. And this rocker's advice to you is scroll through and take inventory of different things in your life that even though it may have seemed silly and goofy, it was absolutely necessary to shake off or to develop in a new way a muscle that you would need for later on in your life. And so a lot of us look back with embarrassment about our past, but I'm telling you, look back just like I look back on E.T. Fresh. That little joker, I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of his first rap battle. I'm so proud that he jumped in there and I didn't look like all the rest of the people looked. I still had the glam rock, the big hair, all the stuff. It kind of stuck with me all my life, that style and that flavor of presenting myself. But this new attitude, a new confidence that I chose to take upon myself in the E.T. Fresh season was necessary for me to overcome the speech impediments over time. It was necessary. I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the screen. I got notifications going off on here as I'm recording. Sorry if you can't see that. You'll know my medications are available for me at the pharmacy to pick up later today. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this thought. The thought is this. Perhaps you have been exposed to something that is igniting something on the inside of you. That you see the vast difference between who you are being right now and who you've always been, and who it is that this example that you look at and you're like, I would like to be more like that. Friend, it may be necessary that you change the title that you go by. I'm not saying to change your name. I'm saying if you go by the title of insecure, maybe you change that title and you stick a different, you stick confident, you stick secure, you stick worthy, you stick value, you stick honored, you stick whatever it is that you need to see about yourself in a different way. Start labeling yourself in a different way. And then not only that, get around others who are operating successfully in that other thing that you want to become. I couldn't have developed as a rapper without getting around rappers and jumping in head first and just trying it and doing it and failing at it and then succeeding at it and then being celebrated at it. I had some of the best times in my life in those rap battles. When I'd say a good line, everyone, whoa! I had some of the best times in my life. I'm telling you, some of the best experiences in your life are waiting on you to show up and just try. I don't know what label it is that you need to remove from yourself, because that's the old identity, the old snake skin, the old reptile skin, and you're developing. You need to leave that behind and emerge this different version of you. And others may think it's silly. They can, because they don't have to look at you in the mirror for the rest of their lives at the end of the day. But you do. What you do is going to matter to you. Friend, let ET Fresh be an example for all of us today. Go out there, get out there, have the best day of your life, and keep continuing to push toward the new you, not the screw you, not the one that screws everything up. My name's Elijah. It's a short episode. Thanks for joining me on Think Twice Rocker Advice. You guys are awesome.